as we do have Bad News Eagles as expected, starting over the CT side. Of course, 9 did pick this map up. We've got Mirage coming up next, and Anubis, as it decided, doesn't roll off the tongue yet.
And Anubis. Yeah, I've also seen people, not just me, make the mistake of Ancient versus Anubis, starts with the same 2 letters, so it's, it can be a confusing time. But we're still acclimatizing, and we're still getting ready for what is a nice little best of 3 between Bad News Eagles and 9. Very, very close affair to have to call, I would have to say. But all about who comes in swinging first and who is actually in form in the early stages of this game. And if it's Bad News Eagles, then they could certainly find an early advantage. CT side start as well. They will find a little bit of aggression over towards middle, but won't find any heads, won't find any damage. 9 are making their way up long instead, and that's where there is no presence here from the CTs.
Synopsis found Kyler in the meanwhile, so Connector has been completely eliminated. They would like to start rotating back soon. That would probably be in their best interest. Synopsis going for the full flank around to see whether there's anyone inside toilets and the like. One Flatru will also help him out with that. But now comes the hit. Over towards the bomb site. Flashes down. Smoke there as well to try and cross over. And One Flatru's USP will be completely mitigated. Minio trying to make quick work back towards the back of bank. But in the meanwhile, Synopsis and One have found a kill apiece. And One wants to keep on fighting. And although the bomb is planted, Tees might have lost too many players. Minio has to start coming into action. Synopsis comes by the wayside, and there you have it. Very easy, very smooth retake from Bad News Eagles.
Yeah, no real issues once it came to getting these kills on the retake, but losing that site, getting the plant down, and we'll have some extra cash to consider what their options are going to be into this follow-up round. To be able to squeak out a buy if they so please. They can get a very, very solid first gun round if they decide to save. Really like the sense of urgency as well on the flank there from Bad News Eagles. No real chance for 9 to set up in the way that they wanted to. Yeah, you don't see 9 invest too heavily. A half buy is all they'll bring forward. You see GXX diving straight into the AWP. And if there was going to be a round to punish it, Tech 9s, Deagles, one missed shot, that op could certainly go.
Oh, One Flatru! What?
Oh my god.
Ooh. Speaking of punishments.
Yeah, I think his life flashed before his eyes there just a second.
Say, duck for cover, duck for cover.
I can't see you, you can't see me.
Goofy's just hoping he goes for it again.
Wouldn't be a kill
See
anyway.
if we can fool him twice. Hey man, you don't underestimate the double tap.
I guess if it's on Juan Fletcher, it actually would be if he doesn't have head armor. Oof, good tag.
Able to spot out a couple more players, and you can see Bad News Eagles rotating over quickly. Rig on, maybe a bit too aggressive there. Minio with a quick kill. Found out GXX has to defend, will find the first, and with Synopsis completing his earlier meal, GXX is very happy with the swap purchase so far. Not punished in the slightest. All you've got left is Goofy, who did find another kill. Going 9 to see if he can find any money off the back of it, but will not be happening.
Goofy got his 1 on the lurk and was just hoping for the right timing. Problem is 9 were fully committing to the A side play. That's why he was able to get that kill on B. No real chance for 9 to double back or reconsider their options. Wasn't the objective. It was about taking weapons away, maybe getting a bomb plant down, reinforcing their own buy as it comes into this third round. And we won't have the AWP out for 9. Hades not going with that particular choice. Could have asked for someone to sacrifice their money for him. We've also been a bit more cautious about how he spent his funds in the round prior.
Maybe he asked and everyone's like, no, why'd you buy a Deagle?
Yeah, the important questions. You did this to yourself. I'm not compensating for you. You're not James.
More importantly, I'm not Sanji. I, however, is dead. One Flatru able to find a quick kill this time over. And I'm curious to see how aggressive Bad News Eagle are actually going to get on the CT side. As the deep flash from Minio is going to be giving him no cover whatsoever. Synopsis taking the back 3 position, is just going to be able to come back through and really set himself up. But with Hades phasing the smoke, the advantage should go to the T side. Synopsy, however, is about to collide into it, and Hades just delivers death very swiftly. Kyler to add another as well. So you're in 2-on-3. 9 have been given an opportunity to try and make something of a very poor situation.
Yeah, bomb is still over towards T-spawn, so they have to reroute back for it, and that will probably bring them over towards some sort of a B play, giving up all that space that they just worked so hard for over at A. Anticipating a rotate here from Bad News Eagles, and all going to be about how much they read into GXX's position and how slowly they can actually take this one, because the closer they get to this site, the more information GXX is going to have with the footsteps, because they need to go quickly.
I mean, they've given up the footsteps already, so rotations are coming in so damn fast. GXX gets a burst right back behind the pillar. A smoke out from Kyler. Okay. Feel like might not be quite in the mojo right now.
Maybe the comms were somewhat lacking. Wasn't sure where that AWP was entirely. He just didn't recognize it fast enough.
Just reminded everyone, visibility is poor outside. Make sure you guys are being very careful. Oh, never mind, it's cleared up. Okay, we're good.
This is a weatherman segment.
Hey, if we can see the weather, you know? Rigon, however, can see the weather. It is raining kills, and he is the one sprinkling them down. And Kai wants to try and fight back with the Tech 9, but Goofy's stolen his kill away. Unfortunately, not quite fast enough to save Minyo's life, though.
Rigon dying to pistols fairly frequently, in fact.
Oops.
Yeah, missed move, but not able to capitalize on anything anyway. No one over at long. Synopsy only going in to check it, and, well, there's a gift. Got a real surprise, and Juan Flatro as well will capitalize. Back of Goofy offered up. 4 rounds straight here for Bad News Eagles, and not too many rounds that have looked contentious. Pistol round was probably the closest we got. Now to see how the buy works out with 9 with the AWP. And this is the thing, you talked about earlier about how in the interviews maybe Hades wants to reinvent himself, find what kind of form he needs to hit to have value at the top end as well. Some of that will be confidence, some of that will be structure and how much is built around him on that AWP. But if he can just hit opening picks, that'll be a great place to start. GXX to hit the deck, and Kai will try and take up that open space around that smoke. Scenario wasn't quite ready for it, and so one and done. Kai will dip, and that's a 5-on-3 to start.
Flash definitely went a little bit too deep for Kai to be affected by it. They weren't expecting that whatsoever on Bad News Eagles, and immediate stack back towards the B bomb site. The question is, will they be trying to get aggressive from behind it and see whether they can gain maybe an opportunity for themselves, or will this just be a passive call to save? Although the bomb is angled in towards this B bomb site with Kyler and company quickly clearing out A. I'm sure that the call to rotate will be made, and soon. Synopsy, all he's doing is recovering some utility, but with 2 players on this A bomb site, it is still going to be a B site hit. Maybe, no. They're getting double-minded about this as well. One flat shoe will end up falling. If he'd found 1 kill there, things could have gone very dangerously.
Rigon can still cut off the numbers here. He's still sat in towards short order, and while Synopsy's been dealt with, the bomb's still coming over towards this B site, and Rigon's going to hear a series of the utility being sent over this bomb site, so he should actually have a clear idea of what the focus is, but they're also not planting exposed to short, so there are no free frags here for Rigon. And a 1-on-5 is a little too tall a task.
Oh. Maybe you can still drop the AWP or something like it, though.
He's trying to sneak a
damage still goes a
diffuse or
long
something.
way. He doesn't have a smoke or a kit. There's no way that happens. Does go through, drop the AWP right now, even trying to strafe back over and see whether he can force back a couple of more players so that they do end up falling. Remember, Rigon did... Oh, he picks up a kit as well. Not that it'll matter, but remember, Rigon did lose his life. Very often, he's the one with the most deaths on the team by far. So this economy hit does matter.
Yeah, he's been burning funds in a number of these rounds to the pistols. Very important opener from 9. Not only Hades springing in with that AWP, dealing with GXX. I think that also could have been what Rigon was up to, you know, trying to save that AWP. Died in pretty similar positions, and I think he realized that he'd run out of time to do so. But in not only getting that opening kill on Hades, but then also Kai taking that space immediately over towards B. They had so much time to actually consider other options, you know, probe in towards A and simply sit back, wait for the response from Bad News Eagles. Definitely a squad that have taken a lot of attention. I think kind of a similar, you know, from a underrepresented region. You know, I think people are talking a lot about IHC currently. But
Yeah.
kind of consistent major runners 2 times in a row. Got the legend stage both times for the Bad News Eagles. Didn't do quite well when they got there, but took some heads prior that have certainly impressed.
Everyone's fading away. Almost gets timed out. Goofy, however, not quite sharp enough on the shots to actually eliminate him. GXX been left to try and deal with any stragglers, but the problem is he does not want to expose himself to 2 different angles. And, well, they're not going to be peeking him from 2 different angles right now, but it will be 2 players coming over. Kyler with a swift trade.
Very nice kill. GXX, you could see, thought he had enough space, enough time to back himself away, but that trade was instant. 4 players in proximity towards this A bomb sign. Flashes over it long, so it might divide the attention of these Bad News Eagles players. They're going to try and fight forward, and Rigon will drop Synopsy there for a trade, but the AWP of Hades is still standing firm over towards Banana. Flash is great to at least disallow more information, but they need backup, they need help, and Synopsy will eventually get flushed out. Hades snatching that kill away. Bomb can finally make its way into the bomb site, 15 seconds, and trapped behind a smoke in at CT. They may try and barrel through this, but it's going to be covered by the rifles, and Kyler will cut them down. Juan's nade finally bringing it down to a 1-2, but nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. It will be another round here for 9.
I mean, good to see them just being able to actually eliminate GXX there. I think more than anything else, the fact that they're trading out effectively against him is going to be very, very important. Their flashes haven't necessarily always been hitting the mark because they're expecting slightly more defensive positioning. But as long as they can make sure that the far angle is flashed off, and then, hell, even if they're trading, they're good to go, right? That's exactly what happened in this round.
Also a tough decision to make when there's a smoke down at stairs and, you know, nobody's gone to sort of rotate to the open territory and bang. You know, that's also what the strat is sort of designed to fixate on.
Yeah.
Well, the teams will be staring right at it, so we'll disconnect it between the site players and the rotates.
Kyler is about to be assaulted by USBs. The question is, does he get out of this alive? No, probably not, but hell, he'll at least make a show of it all. Does end up falling, but I feel like a 3-for-1 is a valiant enough effort.
Yeah, if it only had a player in con, his AK dropping down the ladder might have had some significance. He died trying to get that extra distance. Yeah, inconsequential, but could have some significance to the buy of Bad News Eagles in the follow-up round. 9 will take the round wins. It's funny, you know, we're starting to see, I think people come to the realization that the meta is shifting. You know, the A1S got nerfed, the AWP got nerfed. We have also, you know, Anubis entering the pool, so that's starting to become more T-sided, but maps in general have started shifting that way. Overpass, no exception to that. Especially at these long-range fights. Killing someone with 4 bullets with a completely silenced weapon. There's that extra half second it takes you to realize which angle they're being shot from, and maybe are you getting shot from behind? Is it from the other side of the map? Is it through a smoke? Number of things to piece together rather quickly. Teams are starting, I think people are just realizing that we're going to start to see closer and closer scorelines. You know, more 8-7s.
Yeah.
Maybe even 8-7 in favor of T-sides now as well.
On over?
Oh. We just have to get used to it. I'd say it wouldn't be a surprise in the current state of the meta.
I would, see, for me personally, I've always felt like the best place a metagame can be is if the maps are super CT-sided, but all of the riflery, etc. is very T-sided. So that just makes it so, you know, I feel like really prioritize the strategy and firepower are nice, right? But
yeah, it's just strange because they nerfed 2 weapons that are better on the CT side at the same time. So,
oh.
Well,
I don't know exactly what's being done here, but I kind of like it.
Failed run boost ended up becoming a moving tower for about a second, but there was nobody long anyway, so it doesn't matter. And Minio dies in the interim, so down a man R9.
What about the leaning tower? The moving one is definitely new. 3 smokes, 2 flashes. All you've got to try and penetrate into this B bomb site. With 35 seconds left, and CT's having literally 4 smokes. This is going to be a hard time, but they're not actually using them yet. Might be a little bit too late to even consider it. Scenario down under in the water position is going to have to do so much work because one Flatru ends up using his own smoke defensively. They're trying to set up behind it, but they're losing players, they're losing members, and the T's are just barreling through. Kai's already forward. Inside the smoke he goes. GXX to eliminate him, and while Hades is looking for a flank, his teammates are all falling down and under. Silla 2 on 2 with the CTs being low. Their HP is a trouble, and they will have to deal with very soon, but Kyler yet to peek. Hades wants to be the one to take first contact. Will be able to do so. Kyler's still spamming away with the AK, trying to intimidate. Hades has been left behind. Kyler's missed every single shot. An opportunity in that position.
Oh, that's gonna suck. That's gonna feel like such a bad round to lose if you're 9. And, you know, that's without throwing out the commendations for how Bad News Eagles played that. It looked very strange for them to have to smoke themselves off in at CT, because it ended up becoming a wall of smokes with what smokes the T side had thrown. But then they get this kill on Kai, who's trying to go for some sort of a hero play into CT, while also they lose a player through that smoke wall just by the spam. And I think it was Synopsy that ended up connecting on that. So that overextension, that overpush there from Kai is going to feel like a massive mistake, one that ended up toppling that first domino for Bad News Eagles to make that retake work. We're so low. Kyler's misses certainly didn't help, but... And we'll still have another buy in the tank, and we'll reset over towards B. They won't even have the initial presence that they've been throwing over towards A. They simply throw a smoke, a Molotov, just to keep them guessing, and now the flashes come through. Monster pop.
So Larry, this time immediately eliminated. Flashbang over will actually end up blinding out Juan Flatru as well. GXX, the only one who can actually safely take forward and take charge, but he's been smoked off now. For him to strafe out would be near suicide. Juan Flatru falls, but will be traded at the very least. A grenade to the back of GXX's bum will not be helping him walk back, as he'll take a slightly more defensive position. Boost being set up, but it's quickly found and sussed out, and with this, be surprised if Rigon and GXX have no choice but to save.
It really is a shame that CT boost is so easily spotted. You know, you have to make that initial jump. They'll always be able to, if they're even in peripheral vision, be able to spot it. Basically the only play they could have made, because 9 were just so quick to take over this bomb site. And I like the call here. You know, they were so close from inching out a win in the round prior. This time they just go back to another B-sided hit. And they just trust that this time there won't be overextensions by their players. They'll be able to take over and capitalize on that site. And yeah, lightning doesn't strike twice over on B. This time 9 will be able to take this one. I'd buy for Bad News Eagles is not ideal. Could maybe squeak it out with an SMG or FAMAS alongside the weapons that they saved.
Honestly, would prefer to just see them save again at this stage.
All about how much risk they want to take. You know, likely that they'll try and get Rigon and GXX to save these weapons again.
Deep Molotov, Tyler, that should be tagging up a couple of players. Good for 1, good for 2.
Yeah, fire does in fact, or heat rises rather.
Fire also rises. But only if you feel it. Or fan it. Or throw gasoline on it, actually, when you think about it. But Hades, he is... that's a missed Molotov. Hades will just get the kill nonetheless, so no harm, no foul.
Hope recovered by Scenario, and yeah, very fixated on Banana, where there were 2 players in at long, Juan Flatru in at the back of the bomb site, and Minio seems very convinced that he's there, will not take his eyes off it. Flatru had no chance to win that fight. Dangerous duels there for Bad News Eagles. They did get a couple of kills, and there was certainly a chance, but we're seeing some of these peaks. I think what we're certainly used to on CT holds from Bad News Eagles is that they're not afraid to take those fights, but again, another one of these single dominoes topples over. GXX taking that deep peek in a dice when the Molotov missed. Felt like, you know, he could have definitely bought more time for his teammates to activate. Just had trust that they'd be able to hold together. Losafero on Overpass so far, 5-5 a pop. 9 have been collecting and answering in a number of these past few rounds, and you could see Bad News Eagles certainly have an idea that maybe this B bomb site will be targeted again. One flatter in at short, again through Monster will go high. The nade will land at his feet, but Scenari doubling up on the spray, and the flashes didn't do enough to push him off the angle, but they only have command over short. Molotov and Kylo should allow them access, but they're getting chopped down before they even make any progress. Synopsy finally dealt with, but Hades is completely boxed in, and that op shot miss will mean his life lost. A 6th and an overtake here by Bad News Eagles.
The problem that you're always going to face when you're going into an early default execute B is that it's so easy to say, well, Overpass is a very long map. You will never be able to cross over to the point where you can thread the A-bomb site in time when you don't have connector control especially, or rather short water control as well. That then when you also chain that together with slow flashes because you're trying to contact, you're setting yourself up for a coin flip. Either you get the entry and you actually have a chance at the round, or you just lose everyone immediately. And that's one of the latter instances that could happen.
Yeah, just hoping that B&E would be a little bit more spread out, but they were very convincing team. Kill from Rigon, but escape. Not sure how likely it is. Flash in to try and chase, and Goofy will finally punish.
Cannot believe
he stuck around.
He goes for that read.
I know.
I mean, forget stuck around. He actively goes back and peeks inside connector. That's absurd. All right. It's okay. It's just rig on stuff.
Yeah.
We know.
Hyper proactive player. You know, when it works, it really does. But
you could remove the pro from it as well. Just hyperactive.
He's just, he's all over the shop. And this hasn't been a great showing from him, like you noted earlier. One of the highest deaths on Bad News Eagles. Him leaving the server and rejoining doesn't change that fact.
But it does hide it. Once again, contact into B seems to be the plan. Synopsy with the flames will find one, but Minio takes advantage of the momentary distraction to actually move forward, and the double Hades adds another. And GXX will be so lit to the party, he'll be wondering whether he was even invited in the first place. The answer is no, GXX. No, you weren't.
Yeah, Molly tags
Sorry,
Hades.
you had to find out that way.
Doesn't even need to have a full connection on this AWP shot to finish him off. Neither for Minio, but very difficult circumstance to come back into it. Goofy spamming his position, and he's just trying to thin the herd, and I'm not sure this is really worth the gamble.
Especially because they can just safely retreat out from Monster.
Well, if they gift him one, he would have taken it.
If only. Nice entries out from Mini over there. They do actually change up their setup for the B side hit just a little bit because they've consistently seen the Bad News Eagle player near wood, making it a problem with them because you combine that out with either a short player or a pillar player and it's a bit too much to deal with. So they do try and take initial contact elsewhere, and that's enough for Mini to set up for two players turned around and not facing it.
It does also strike me that I think 9 are probably more comfortable in their after plans on this B bomb site more so than A. You know, even just, it seems like such a long time ago that we looked at a proper A side hit where post plants actually mattered. But, you know, reminded of how that pistol played out with how boxed in they might have felt with the speed that they went in with. You know, when they get in these entries into B, you can see how quickly they're setting up into water, into short, and into long. Just, they look like comfortable positions to play the after plants. And News Eagles are just losing too many numbers before they even end up in that affair. The one blunder we've seen from 9 was when they tried to get sort of over aggro into CT, and they haven't tried anything since. No ult for Hades. Still going with rifles, maybe anticipating that it will be a lower buy. Should still know that GXX has his hands on this AWP, and he'll try his best to get early information for the squad. No one peeking in at the playground, and might actually miss the timing on all these fountain players as well.
Might realize with Hades having thrown that Molotov that there should be a second player coming over soon. I think that flash also just goes a bit too far as well for him. GXX will not be blinded by either one of these. And Hades is a dead man running, but he is running away from death.
That's why he didn't buy an AWP. You just take this one.
I mean, if he wants to.
He didn't even want it. Damn.
God damn. He's reinventing himself as an AWPer by being a rifle player. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like the reverse A-core.
Yo, he smells it. He sniffs it. The eco frags, they're a-coming. Stacking off as well. Don't want to get 5-7 to the head just in case there is one around the corner.
I am really flabbergasted that Hades has not taken that AWP. Most AWPers wouldn't hesitate, wouldn't think about it twice. Not Hades. He wants to get every single kill on the rifle if possible, and he does though. He does so. Now, if he buys an AWP, now that will be disappointing. He does. Oh my god. The efficiency.
Listen, he just wants to make sure no one's accidentally gonna take that AWP back and save it in the previous round. All right, there you go. You've got money to buy it throughout the rest of the half anyway. Mitigate your risk.
Well, no, if they lose this round, their money bonus isn't great. Oh my, the 4-man boost.
Who said they're losing?
They're not. Clearly.
Oh.
Got a free kill on Synopsy as well into short, hoping that they can maybe get access to that before 9 re-aggress. One flatter in front of the tunnel will just get run down. This round has completely combusted. And the Bad News Eagles don't do too well with flames.
Can I just point out, that might be the most awkward position I've seen, like a B-side player in Overpass, just standing smack dab in the middle of the monster tunnel. He's like, do I go left? Do I go
well,
right?
where else can he go? His short player gets caught jumping.
Oh no, I just mean like either side, right? You know, like left or right. It's a smack dab in the middle, like, you shall not pass Gandalf style.
Decided to be the tunnel. Be like water. Form to the wall.
Over my dead body. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Didn't last too long.
Solid showing so far from 9 on the T side. Some great adjustments as well coming through after Bad News Eagles' initial aggression was sort of catching them off a few times too many.
It's been this B site. It's been the focus of 9 on a lot of these gun rounds. Even in the round where they got like an early entry on Hades and Kai also sort of leapt through the monster tunnel, they reset, they still hit B in the end. And there was a lot of presence on A simultaneously, but they were happy to play the numbers. 1.5 already on this T side, and it will become an unfamiliar sight, but one that you maybe expected Bad News Eagles to fare a little better in.
Oh. Well, good start to things for 1 at the very least. Will find Kai.
Yeah, strength of the A1S. Still hits, even though it takes a little longer to kill the opponent on the other side of it.
Even on that distance?
Yeah, at that distance, I think it would have still taken 5. He barely survived for the 5th bullet. But
A lot of control gained as well soon after.
Yeah, very aggressive move from Juan to just push through that monster tunnel and just hope that there was nobody on the other side. And there wasn't. You know it should be an A play.
GXX getting ready to peek back out over on long. They trying to cross through. Ray got caught out, and he will be brought down. Now Tyler, all he has to do is keep himself alive with this bomb and try and fade away. Unfortunately, it does take a lot of damage to do so when one fracture has wasted no time to go ahead and find another kill. Trade, yes, but worth it? Absolutely.
Safe rotate as well from Kylar. If he decided to go through Con, likely he gets gunned down before he even makes that journey. This is very awkward. They're making presence over towards B. They've completely given up all A side control, and Synopsy's re-aggressing, but they've also not committed to the B play. So Synopsy knows what's up. Bad News Eagles should completely win this round, and with Kylar's bomb being dropped, 15 seconds doesn't feel like enough for Minio.
Sorry, shouldn't be it. Bad News Eagles set for 7, and they are ready to try and close it out as well. Synopsy around the corner with the AWP ready. Just hits the shot. 7 found. Bad News Eagle, despite looking to be starting off very strong, lost out some momentum, but we'll have to see whether or not that second half is going to fare better for them. We'll be back after a short break. Eight to 7 for 9, despite them losing out the pistol and the early few rounds. Did manage to claw back a few more, even if it did look slightly one-dimensional. The question is, what is that CT side going to look like as we move over and switch hubs?
Yeah, it might have felt like they'd lost grip of that half. Had a great opening to this game, pistol, the conversion rounds as well, but then losing to a lot of pistols, and losing, investments to a lot of these pistols did certainly add up towards the tail end of that half as well. Want to be stable in their economy, and I imagine 9 will want to have a good start themselves. A lot of information for Hades to work off of, but nobody breaking down the setup here for 9. No one getting over antsy with how they've set themselves up in the early stages of this round. Bad News Eagles will be given a lot of control over towards Connector and Shortwater. Gotta be a little suspicious when there's just no aggression, no CTs facing whatsoever.
Oh! That's a very quick trade. Very violent point of view for Rigon, but hey, he is, however, going to be taken out, and Hades on the flank will whiff out a couple of shots. GXX's repeat gives him a second chance, and it's one he will take advantage of. Scenario as well, unable to find the initial kill, will be able to get it later on, but in the meanwhile, the bomb is fully isolated on the A-bomb site, and now has been dropped. Scenario all alone, a 1-on-2, and no bomb.
Well, they got confirmation on where he is now. Round becomes harder and harder. Time is against him as well. 20 seconds on that clock. As soon as he takes fight on one, the other should swing, and they're trying to double swing on it, but not a great angle to actually capitalize. Scenario eventually run down. Tough situation to be in, and a very awkward looking round there for Bad News Eagles. I don't think they were quite comfortable with just how much room they were given to a certain degree. They're expecting earlier contact that only came towards the tail end of that, or sort of the middling stages of that round, with Minio taking the aggressive peek towards bottom connector. But then we saw, you know, simultaneous aggression out of the connector as well as over at the B bomb site. Very, very curious why they split up so heavily. You know, even flanking the flankers on the 9 side, it just was kind of all over the place.
Like, I have to comment on the fact that GXX re-peeks back to Hades and gives him a second chance when there is someone from his team trying to flank Hades' exact position at the time.
Yep. Both the flanks weren't exactly the most pristine. They had to look them in the eyes before they killed them.
GXX was very eager to show off these beautiful eyes as well.
Yeah, round was certainly between 2 points. There's certainly been B&Es if they were, I think, a little bit more together. And 9 could have been far crisper, but nice way to open things up if you're Synopsy. Very wide face from Hades gets punished. And while they cannot make any sort of progress over towards connector, there is at least the lurk of Scenario that's hoping that he can establish some control. He's found the kill on Goofy with a Glock. The problem is that the bomb's been dropped at the feet of Kai, and he has an MP9 ready to farm up some extra cash.
Well, I believe he might be punched out pretty soon, though. It might not realize GXX has moved forward. Well, check the angle, and with a jump up, forget GXX, more like ATM, baby.
Yeah, some good deed kills. There's no sort of lying about that one, but not going to be enough for a round win. No time, no hope.
Low as well.
And actually, M4 delivery.
Yeah, tries to truck it away. Will have been successful in losing it at the very least. Don't know if it actually made it on the other side or in through the. Can you throw it into the tunnel, like the little tiny little? Oh, there.
I don't know if you can actually throw it as far as that, but you can get it over that little wall, and you know it's not pathable for anybody trying to retrieve it. I think.
Of course.
3 rounds. That's the difference. And now the first buy from B&E. Early Molotovs do get missed by the 9 side. Deep nade won't do too much either. I was not feeling comfortable to stick around, and they'll reset and focus in at long instead. Hades' AWP has struck over towards the short side. They're not expecting that they'd go for the boost, but Juan has got a counter kill over B. Same as the aggression from Rigon. Into 3-on-3, no one else to punish any sort of aggression long, and Hades making this rotate in, found the perfect timing. Now he's just back to B. This is where he started out. Bomb is still miles away from any of the Bad News Eagles players because they just wanted to fan out and search for clues. They didn't anticipate all this early fighting.
I'm really enjoying Hades actually having some fun on the CT side, going to and fro between sites and positions as rapidly as that. It's one of the best parts about Overpass, and whenever it actually works, it just looks so good. GXX, however, has also been looking pretty damn snappy, even when he doesn't have the AWP. Brings it back to a 2-on-2, and now they're headed back towards the B bomb site. The bomb already in position. Remember, there are 2 smokes available, so if you are able to find the kill on Kai, then, well, Hades shouldn't have a chance of actually bringing back anything in this round whatsoever. But Kai has realized that as well, recognizing that if he's just hidden away, he should be A-okay.
Well, one smoke over A. They're hoping that pulls Kai away. Oh, that's critical. That's bomb. 15 seconds and Kai's repositioned already. GXX has no idea he's going to go out wide like that. That's perfectly played there from Kai. Recognize exactly where the positions were likely to be. A smoke at A and some simultaneous aggression on B. There's a timing. There's a gap.
Nine have been losing a lot of players so far on their gun rounds as well, so there still is maybe a possibility for Bad News Eagles to try and reset that, right? That's what we saw in the first half as well. In particular, Rigon was the main culprit of it. This time over, a lot more players in lower economy, but they need to find the Eagle kills here if they want to do anything like it. So, not quite out of it yet, but this round is going to matter a lot more than maybe people realize or would give it credit for, beyond just a round win.
Yeah, the game's sort of artificially much closer than it appears. One round win from B&E and the money's broken. Saving 4 or 5 weapons on this 9 side and getting a round win would be optimal.
Oh, he's missed a crucial shot. Now needs to try and land a few more. They are being run down on the CT side, and already so many casualties and so many guns recovered as well. Where is that op and why hasn't it been picked up is the question. Rigon, well, he doesn't need one. 2 on 3. And the round loss you talked about might be here and now. Rigon. Safe to say that he was a little bit worried when that grenade was thrown, but does manage to keep himself alive and now has recovered the op as well. One flash through. Molotov will not spread over. Deagle still at the ready. Kai around the corner needs to get a very quick shot if they want to keep themselves alive. Rigon is gone. And Goofy, now left alone, a one-on-one scenario will fall, but hell man, the amount of damage they're able to do and get the bomb plot here as well, Bad News Eagles will be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, really close. Time was running out as well for Goofy to come in for that retake. Didn't have the kit, and with how quickly they lost those 2 weapons, you saw the panic set in. Hades was calling for help desperately, but that A site, yeah, it crumbled too quick. Very, very close affair there for Bad News Eagles. You can see the money situation 4-9 is not going to be ideal, even coming into this round. They're going to be counting their lucky stars, so many of them are A1S enthusiasts. We're going to see, and I think we have seen so far the shift in pro play. A4 and A1S, I think, is about a 50-50 split these days. Some of that's money related, some of that's also just adaptation period to pick up the A4 again.
Really crucial kill for Minion to find, and they're getting aggressive again. Turn it back to a 5 on 2 now. Kai, not done yet, wants to keep on peeking forward, especially with the kind of damage that's been dealt through the wall. Feels like you didn't even see anyone this round, and you've already lost 4.
Yeah, what a fiend. I'm surprised Minio just is able to line up that spam so perfectly on the secondary player as well. Made it so that Kai could just go in, swing, and hit 1 bullet. Well, they couldn't keep 4 or 5 alive against the pistols, yet against the rifles, they drive. Not usually how people would anticipate those rounds to go.
Yeah.
This is a little dire looking here from Bad News Eagles. Again, highlight the fact that once upon a time they did ban this map in their first rotation, so not a complete oddity to see them uncomfortable, but with them shifting as of late, you would hope that all that work has been put to good use.
I wonder how much. Do you know when they stopped banning Overpass first rotation exactly?
I think it was early December, I want to say. You know, when we started
Was
seeing...
Devil Walk on by then?
No, Devil Walk joined in January.
Right, that's what I was trying to remember.
Might have, but you know, as with many coaching and sort of analyst roles, you know, before they're announced, before they join, they may be working with the team a little bit behind the scenes. Could have actually come in earlier, but who's to say? Only Devil Walk would be able to tell the truth. Or the players, I suppose.
Or Stickle.
Or Banks, maybe.
Turns out a lot of people then.
Yeah. Many involved. Well, takes a village, and sometimes the playground in the village is where the most fun happens. Minio opened up the affair. Rigon's not having fun. At least one of them is.
Rigon's had a difficult game.
Yeah, not an accurate
his score,
tally.
just in case. Yeah, his score is a little bit inaccurate, but we'll check that out and get back to you about it as well in just a bit. One flash through. With the resmoke back out on Monster, it does seem like this is the only option, but GXX has been tagged as well, so information given up. Minio continues to be a wallbang machine.
Feels like they really need this kill on Scenari, and not gonna get it. Some information gathered, 35 seconds. They're gonna have to make their move on B, and with only one smoke to really work off of. Feels coming quick though.
Well. Yep, entries are fast back into the B-bomb site, but this is where the rotation from Minio is on point. Will be able to make it also difficult to actually scale, and Minio is a fiend. He is an absolute fiend. What a second B-bomb site player. I mean, what a performance coming out from him, and just the diversity he's actually shown us.
Yeah, not only being a reliable anchor player in certain circumstances, you know, we saw in that 2v2, we've seen the amount of aggression that he's been able to facilitate over at long as well, or over in short rather. It's strange to think that he's kind of all over the shop and still having this amount of impact. He goes where he's needed, and he's needed wherever he goes.
So I just checked, and Rigon in the previous round was 10-17 was his score at the time. One is gone. And it seems like Rigon is as well. Ala will be hovering around for a while longer, and as GXX hovers through the smoke, we'll be able to strike through and find one, but that is just a position that you cannot commit to for so long without expecting death. Eventually, Minio is a sharp, sharp knife that is being used to slice apart an eagle right now. Skin it.
Yeah, they're getting outclassed on quite a few of these fights. Just the speed at which they're landing these headshots, it's not giving many chances to respond. You know, I guess the best opportunities we've seen from Bad News Eagles in terms of the head-to-head duels, when they've not been instantly headshot, you know, B&E have answered back. You know, we saw that on the Deagle rounds, saw quite a few lowish players when it came to this A-side convergence from Bad News Eagles, but it's just been, they've been completely stopped. They have found no success here in the second half. And now they need 8 straight, which is a full order when you've not been able to break into any winning ways.
Good night. Not as much damage as you would expect, though. Might have gone slightly too far forward. Flashbangs are well placed. They should be able to recover this, but Goofy, quick kills, and Kai's here as well to pick up the pace. 3 kills found through that monster smoke and quickly refresh soon after. Perfectly played.
They were blind as a bat as well. They just couldn't get through the monster smoke fast enough with all the spam that was coming in. Oh, for sure, one of them was going to go down. So Kai couldn't really provide too much support because he ate the flash, but now it's on GXX and Rigon to recover. A necessity, lest we go to Mirage. He would be down the map. Good kill from Rigon. No counter being lined up here by 9, but this may open up an opportunity here for GXX to make his way through the monster tunnel, and that ult will connect. So into 2-on-2, and they're still somewhat split here on the 9 defense.
Well, they should know that Minio is still around the bomb site, but with a smoke out in his hands, maybe GXX wasn't quite that aware. A one-on-one now, Rigon, a chance at redemption, an opportunity, but it swiftly lost out Kyler. To shut it down, Bad News Eagle will not have a chance on Overpass as they are just thoroughly wiped out. What a performance coming out from 9. It is just some good stuff through and through. I mean, that CT side was fantastic and some great T-side adjustments thrown in there as well.
Yeah, no, I think when we talked about this game earlier on, I tried to preface that it came to be who actually came in the most sharp or kind of hot off the presses coming into this game, and it felt like